This Man United side is rubbish. Let's be honest. It's rubbish. It's crap. It's 14th for a reason. We deserve to be 14th. We've won 6 games out of our last 21, and 3 of them were Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester. We are just really lucky that the promoted teams are so bad that we are not in a relegation scrap. That is the truth of the matter. We are rubbish. I don't like to be negative. I like to be positive. But let's be honest, we now have 2 fit attackers because Xerxes probably out for the rest of the season doing his hammy. Our 2 fit attackers at Manchester United, Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, recently went over 20 games without scoring a goal, and we've got to somehow win the Europa League. We've got to go and beat Lyon. That Xerxes injury is the only thing I really care about today. Newcastle could have won 8-1, and if Xerxes had stayed fit, I'd probably be less sad. I'm sad about Xerxes. That was the worst part of the game for me. Not the defending, not the mess, but 5 at the back still couldn't defend. Midfielders couldn't pass the ball forward. Eriksen and Lindelof starting in 2025 tells you everything you need to know. Amorim, I get you had to rest, I get you had to rotate, but Jack Morehouse in heaven. I don't want to see Lindelof in 2025. I don't want to see Eriksen in 2025. They're finished. They're done at the club. They're leaving in the summer. You know, Bayendier went and goal for Onana. You have to kind of make that change with Onana's howler. But I said this in my live stream earlier. People got annoyed at me. I said Bayendier, I still don't think is better than Onana. Onana might be crap, but I'm not convinced by Bayendier just because he had one good game versus Arsenal. He's not good enough. You need to bring in a keeper that's actually going to challenge Onana. Our goalkeepers aren't good. We've only got 2 fit attackers now to the rest of the season. I've won over 20 games without scoring. They have recently scored for us, but we're not convinced by Garnacho and Højlund. It is the Bruno Fernandes save us show, or we are absolutely done. Our midfielders can't pass the ball forward. You know, we can't defend as, you know, today was poor. I think defensively we've massively improved under Amorim, shape and structure. The first half, the first 20 minutes was okay. But you know what? Their head was in Lyon. Their head was thinking about Thursday. The players aren't there. They know the season's over. They've mentally checked out. They weren't good enough today. Amorim wasn't good enough today. The only thing that was good about today was Harry Amos. Thanks. And that should be an example. Give Jack Morehouse some minutes. Just look at this. 21 Premier League games under Amorim, and we've only won 6 games. And I don't think that Amorim's the problem. You get rid of Rashford, who can score goals even when he's not his best, and you don't bring anyone in. And then Ahmad gets injured. Now Xerxes injured. You can't rely on Garnacho and Højlund. You can't score when your forwards can't score and your goalkeepers are shy. There's not loads Amorim can do. But the wins were Fulham, which was, again, it could have been easily a 0-0 draw. Everton, but that was under Dyche. City in the peak of their slump, which was Ahmad brilliance. Southampton, which wasn't a convincing win. Let's be totally honest, it wasn't a convincing win. It was an Ahmad hat-trick. Leicester, who were just shite, and Ipswich, who, to be fair, we did well in that game. But like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced one bit. And this isn't me going in on Amorim. There's just so little quality in this squad. 6 wins, 21 games. Next season, we could be in the relegation zone if we're like that. Now, I think we're going to have a good summer window, I hope, next season. But we've got to hope that Chelsea buy Sancho. He did score today. Yeah, I was happy about that. They need to buy him. We can get money for Anthony. We can get money for Rashford. Maybe we sell one of the Garnachos or someone that's going to bring in a bit of money. Because we need a goalkeeper. We need another centre-back for depth. We need another wing-back, a right wing-back. We need a midfielder that can progress the ball. It's the same Toby Collier isn't fit at the moment. We need a striker and we need a 10. And that's the bare minimum. And I've just named, six positions, right? We've got a lot of work to do. This team is rubbish. Like, we are 14th for a reason. This is the Premier League. That's the top of the Premier League table. I put the wrong thing in. We are get that off. Get Liverpool off. We are crap. Like, we are rubbish. And I hate saying that, but we are. This team is so bad. Like, I look at Man United. The goalies, get rid of them. Dalot, I thought, had 5 or 6 really good games in a row. Stinker today. Mazraoui, probably not his best game, but I actually think take the mistake away, he was all right. Lindelof, shocking. Euro, to be fair, didn't do much wrong, but he probably fell asleep for the second goal. Amas was all right. Dorgu was all right. They weren't at fault today. Garty's been poor lately. Eriksen's washed. You know, Casemiro want to get rid of anyway. He didn't play today. You know, Mount wasn't great when he came on, but I do like Mount. Xerxes was the only thing I liked watching in that game was Xerxes, and he came off injured. It's like Delict starts to look good, gets injured. Heaven starts to look good, gets injured. Xerxes starts to look good, gets injured. There's nothing enjoyable about us, and I don't care about the Premier League, and I don't care about this game. I'm not that bothered. Like, it's the Europa League. If we go out to Lyon, I'm going to be gutted. I'm going to be upset. But when we're playing like that, and then one of our bright sparks gets injured, I'm worried about the Europa League. Like, the strikers can't score. The keeper can't save, the midfield can't progress, and 5 defenders and still can't defend. Morehouse, Cheeto, Fletcher, Heaven. No point playing Lindelof and Eriksen if they're leaving on a free and they're not good enough. I said it, Lindelof wearing the captain's armband after Bruno shows the lack of quality in the squad. Why is Lindelof captain? Linda's soft. He's soft. You know, I missed Maguire today. That's Lindelof for you. Just couldn't play out from the back. Mistakes were awful. All 4 goals were from mistakes. And Newcastle, one thing about Newcastle is they're clinical. They capitalise on stuff. They're ruthless. And Newcastle, St James's Park, they've got the top 4 race on. They've got the race for Europe on. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be ruthless. You know, Xerxes injured. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's a precaution as Xerxes back next week. But realistically, Xerxes' season's over. Realistically. As Terry mentioned here, Bayindir mistake goal, Mazraoui mistake goal, Dalot mistake goal, Lindelof mistake goal. To be fair, Livramento did really, really well. I haven't put it all on Dalot. Livramento was excellent for the second goal. But that's 4 terrible mistakes punished by Newcastle. Newcastle were better than us. They were all over us. They were up for it more than us. That was probably... I think everyone knew Newcastle was going to win today. Newcastle had something on the line. We didn't have anything on the line. You know, I think everybody knew Newcastle were probably going to win today, but it's the manner in which you lose. I just think, you know, I just don't even know what to think. I can't. I didn't want to make this video. You know how I normally make a PowerPoint slide with loads of notes? It's just for the tweets. I don't want to make notes about this team. I don't know. I don't even remember what it's talking about. I don't like this team, and it's just depressing. And I just want summer. I mean, we're April, 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Do you know what? Obviously, this is my job, and I'm in this brilliant position to do this as my job and make content on Man United. But I sacrifice things every weekend to watch Manchester United and stay committed to this. And that's only because of you guys. It's not because of Man United. And I'm very grateful to be in that position. But it's like, I don't want to have to turn down this or turn down that because I've got to watch Man United and make down notes. You know, I could have been out with my friends in the pub having drinks, and I can't watch Man United in the pub, but it's just easier to make notes here. And it's like, I sacrifice a lot to watch Manchester United, and I'm so lucky to do this. But it's like Man United just put crap after crap after crap, and I just don't want to watch this anymore. I physically, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would switch off from Man United this season, other than the Europa League. I don't want to watch us anymore. I'm not interested in us anymore. There's no point in watching us, and they're not interested. The players aren't interested on the pitch. They're not. Like, they don't care. Let's be honest. I mean, I said this, the goalies are shite. We have now 2 fit attackers, one of the worst teams in the league, playing out the back. Give the ball to Bruno and hope Europa is all we've got left. You know? I mean, this summer, it's all about this summer. I don't care about this season. It's about this summer. It's about, let's hope our loan players do really well. I was thinking, well, you know what? If Newcastle got 4, might as well see if Isaac can score, so at least I can get some FPL points. That is the level of fucks I gave today. I'm really upset about Xerxes. I didn't think we were going to win, but I said I think it would be close. I think we're going to the game. We looked better versus City. We looked better versus Forest. It was our last Premier League game. I don't even know who we played last in the Premier League. Was it Man City last week? And that was a crap game. We've got Wolves who've won 4 games in the trot. First time since the 70s they've done that next. Bournemouth who roll us over every time. Brentford. Do you know what? The only game I think we can win till the end of the season is West Ham. I think it's West Ham. And we're lucky that it's pretty much impossible to get relegated. It's not yet, but yeah. I mean, Adam said this, the amount of individual errors that have led to goals for United against opponents under Amorim is hard to swallow. It speaks more of an issue of situational awareness than it does systematic. I think the problem is the players, not Amorim. The goal scorers can't score and the goalkeepers are doing that. I think Amorim's getting things wrong, and I'm not 100% convinced because I said we should have waited till the summer to get a manager and just given it to Ruud van Nistelrooy at the end of the season, but it's the players. I think Amorim with the right players, with the right investment in the summer, I think he'll make it work because I do see improvement. Versus Forest, we didn't deserve to lose. Versus City, we did enough to win. Versus Lyon, we did enough to win, and individuals let him down. Like, Amorim needs the players. I think if Amorim gets the players who succeed, it's about getting the players. But as the Muppeteer said here, I feel like the team went into all eyes on Thursday. We all feel like the league is pretty much written off. You could see the mental drop-off on the pitch. Not a good thing in mind, but Thursday is what matters, have to win. If we don't win Thursday, do you know what? It's even if we don't win the Europa League, at least if we get to the final, we don't have to sit around for 6 months watching 1 game a week in the Premier League. 6 weeks, sorry, watching 1 game a week in the Premier League until the season's over. At least I want to win the Europa League, but at least if you get to the final, you've got a semi-final to go to. You've got a final to watch. There's nothing to watch about us right now. Nothing. And Liverpool going to win the league makes it 10 times worse. It really does. But as I said, I just hope Xerxes is all right. That's all I care about. If someone said lose 1-0 to Newcastle and Xerxes gets injured, or lose if someone said draw 1-1 with Newcastle and Xerxes gets injured for the rest of the season, or lose 9-0 and Xerxes stays fit, I'd have picked a 9-0 loss. Whatever. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.